Heat Ratio Sports Network. The show brings the temperature of sports to a whole new level. Whether it's a local opinion or a national agenda, everything is fair game. Remember, everyone has an opinion, but only few can back it up. Now sit back, crank up the volume, and if you think you can handle it, get ready for the heat.
What up, everybody? We are live right here, Heat Ratio Sports, brought to you by, obviously, Prime Roofing, and right here at beautiful Steam Pub, at Steam Pub on all social formats, your home of the real-time draft beer list. We're here every Tuesday. Listen, man, we got a great show planned out. We got Al, we got Dan, we got Nick, we got myself. We got the Miami game on behind us. Fellas, we are rolling right now because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got the Sixers to talk about. We got a packed house in here. We had a little technical difficulties. Thought we were going to have a speaker tonight, but obviously Jigsaw dropped the ball and can't hook it up right. But that's okay. It's all good because everybody else can still hear us, so it's all good to go. So we got the Sixers up 2-0. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about little Phillies. And then we got the debut of TekMunNNee coming on in about 10 minutes. And I'm telling you something, man. This dude just lives numbers and breathes and eats numbers. So we got a game tonight, Colorado and Philadelphia, and he's going to give us some bets, some props that you can throw in there, try to make some money, and also maybe preview if we can grab them for an extra segment. Give us some games for tomorrow to look at as well. But fellas, let's just get right off the bat here. We'll start with baseball, and don't forget we got the Jigsaw Chronicles as well. We got some Soggy sandwiches to talk about, so that should be like, there's always something, right? It's always something. But and we got the name of the player, obviously the segment sponsored by Prime Roofing, and it's going to be Kansas City this week, who is the face of the franchise. So right off the bat, let's talk some Phils because we got to get in that baseball mood. And again, actually, there's an event right here tonight. Shout out Southampton Knights cheerleading. They're throwing an event out here. So if you can get here, they're donating a percentage of all the bills here to the local cheerleading establishment. So if you can get here, they're open till 2 a.m. Anything you put on there, percentage goes to these young ladies who are doing a fine job, as always, in the community for their national bids. But Dan, talking about national, let's get into some baseball talk because I need to know. And I know we talked about this. I know what's coming. Right? Yeah, and I'm not going to throw Girardi under the bus yet, but but let's talk about this lineup shuffle, right? Well, first of all, what is going on in your mind? Because I can't believe we're sitting here and we're worrying about a team that can't hit. So help me out here. What's going on?
Well, regardless of the lineup shuffle, it is discouraging.
Like that lineup shuffle?
Yeah, that's a very good term.
I like that.
You know, the 85 Bears shuffle comes to mind for some reason. But anyway, the fact that this team isn't as explosive as we thought, I mean, outside of the opening game and maybe one other, it has been a little discouraging. But as we talked earlier, this team, and probably all teams, when they're cold, they seem to be cold together. So let's just hope it's just one of those funks because they were lighting it up in spring training, and maybe they're just going cold early. It's still so early in the season. I listened to the radio today. The 2009 Yankees that Girardi led to the World Series against our Phils, 33 games into the season, we're under 500. So it's too early to completely panic. But that being said, if I'm JT Realmuto and I had a 4-hit game, the last thing I would expect is to have my ass put on the bench. I mean, it's early in the season. I'm fresh. And if you're not going to catch me, DH me. If you're not going to DH me, put me at first. You do not ever sit a player after a 4-game performance. That is absurd. So it's stuff like that. And in years past where he would rest players concurrently, like your two best players, makes no sense to me, never will make sense to me. So Girardi is definitely a flawed manager. There's no doubt about it. And, you got to give him 30, 40 games before you ultimately have to make a decision.
Well,
I think it's too early to pull the plug on him.
Yeah, Al, it's on there now. So you're good. I was just on there.
Nick, what do you think?
Well, yes. I mean, everything you said makes sense. So they've got to figure out a way to get players on base. Now, do you talk to your players to become a little bit more patient at the plate? Do we need more walks? This lineup was materialized so that a pitcher would have to pitch to each player, especially in the top third of the lineup. And, at the end of the day right now is we're not getting on base. So pitchers are having their way with, Schwarber starting things off with nothing is really setting the tone for what's happening. So, as a manager, I wasn't here last week or the last 2 weeks with you guys, and I'm guessing the conversation was probably about the lineup shuffle and, how he's moving things around like that. And
I wanted to fire him.
We're all on the same page. We are definitely all on the same page. That is not what you want to do 11 or 12 games into the season. Also 11 or 12 games into the season, we don't want to put ourselves in a situation where we're starting to panic already either. So we got to figure out a way to get these guys on base. Get your hot hitters high. Bohm is on fire right now.
Let's go.
And let's keep him at the top of the lineup. Let's keep things going with him and try and build off that. We've got to. I think, and Dan, in my opinion, I think we've got to see more walks. We're not. Everything is about hitting a home run with this team, and I get it. It's a power hitting team, but look what that's gotten us over the last 5-6 games.
Well, no, you're right, and Al, don't you think they feed off of each other? Yes. Harper hits a bomb, I want to hit a bomb. And therefore that takes away from my mentality of looking for a walk. Instead of approaching the at-bat the way it should be, you have this built-in internal competition with your teammates.
Right.
Schwarber started off the season with a home run. I think he had 2 hits after that for he was in a massive slump. So I do think they're reading their own press clippings. They want to impress the fans.
Yes.
They want to be bombers, and they just need to see the ball hit the ball, drive it up the middle, and the home runs in the gap, doubles will come naturally.
It didn't work.
I think everybody just needs to relax. I'm talking about them now. I'm not talking about us.
Yeah.
They have to relax.
They're not relaxed.
Play your game. Do your thing. You don't have to impress us by hitting a certain amount of home runs, and just relax. What are we, 11 in?
Yeah.
We're 11 in.
We got some hecklers out here. I'm sorry. We got hecklers out here.
We're a little distracted right
beautiful.
now.
That's our first time here, Tom. I like that.
Listen, you come right around there and get on a microphone. We're trying.
We have technical difficulties.
Listen, I got the speaker and everything. It's just not working. Bryce Harper. You like Bryce Harper? Oh, come on. Look, we already got
she said no.
She said no Bryce Harper.
He only won the MVP last year.
He has a beard.
God.
A beard, nice beard.
she just gave the thumb up like, yeah, so what?
He's listening.
He's listening right there. You got to put it on your phone.
Yeah, he's listening.
He's listening.
See? He's got it.
All formats. All formats you can find it.
Yeah, listen, but listen, before we get into hot take talk, right? We want to win some money. Who wants to win some money tonight? Right? So we got a Phillies game. Look, you want to win some money tonight? You got to listen. What's that? You got to listen. We're going to tell you how to make some money in a minute. Oh, man.
Tell my
listen.
man to turn the volume up on his phone so everybody can hear it.
Yeah, man. Listen, because we got to listen, guys. We got a very important guest coming up. He's going to help all these fans out here win some money tonight. But again, we're going to bring him in.
I like that.
Here's the thing. One thing I can tell you, and I got to give a shout out. Ready? I got to give a shout out right here to my dad. All right, because my dad sends me all kinds of stuff on a regular about sports betting because he knows I'm into it, and I know. So he sends me the stats. The sportsbook wagering totaled $714.9 million in March, a high for a month without professional football. This is courtesy of the Inquirer. While sports produce a lot of wagering revenue at $30.4 million, we're up just 3.57%. You have a lot of wagering, but it doesn't always amount to more revenue. That's interesting. Check this out. The gambling industry shows revenue from in-person casino games, sports betting, and internet gambling reached $8.92 billion in January and February, up more than 19% from a previous record in 2020. And that's because of all these sports books, right? That's because of all these sports books. So right now, we're going to bring the man in. This is the first time we ever had a live guest on remote here at Steam Pub. So this is going to be pretty interesting. Okay, we're going to add Tek. There he is right there. My man Tek. Listen, you can follow him. It's right there at TekMunNNee, TekUM or MUNNEE, right? We're going to talk some MLB picks. We're going to talk about the game Colorado Philly. Tek, what's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me on, by the way. It's a privilege to be here.
Dude, man, listen, absolutely. We thought we were going to be broadcasted throughout the place here, Tek, but I dropped the ball a little bit. The Tek, it just didn't happen for me tonight, but that's okay. Right. Everybody can still hear us live on remote. But next week we'll be broadcasted throughout. All right.
Hey, don't worry about it because the pressure's on. I heard those hecklers, so we got to make sure.
She's coming up to win some money now. She wants to win some money.
Tek, it's finally good to see you, man. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
All right. How you
Pretty
doing?
good.
So what do you think, man? What do you got tonight, man? What do you think about the real fast before we even get to bets? Let me ask you something. What do you think is going on with this Phillies team, man? You shocked that they're starting off so slow?
I'm not, but that's because I look into a lot of things. I know. Look, I'm from the area, so I know where the hype's at. The thing with me is here's what I respect about the Phillies this time. Since you asked,
yeah, man.
When you're in a park like Citizens Bank Park, it was built for offense, right? Before all these signings, you had a team where you couldn't really decide, are you going to be a pitching team or an offense team? And you really need to figure it out at the stadium. I like where they put all their chips in the one bucket and they went for all the offense, right? But we know on the defensive side, on the fielding side, you got JT Realmuto, who's a catcher, but he's good. He's a good catcher when it comes to fielding. And a couple outfielders that field. We're not really defending the ball, right? But not only that, we didn't build our team around pitching or bullpen. So that's where I already knew that if the Phillies want to get the job done, you have to just be fireworks every night. You need to beat everybody out by a lot of runs. That's what the team's built on. Is it going to work all the way down the road? It's tough because that's when you have other teams that are well-rounded, right, from front to back. And when it gets deep into the year, they know what they're doing. So I'm not shocked that it's kind of a start that they're having. But when the weather picks up, you're going to see them scoring more. I think that's what's key right now. The weather's in the 40 degrees wherever everybody's playing overall, and that's not baseball weather. So if they can pick up that offense, they should be able to beat teams out. But again, I'm not surprised the way it's going so far.
No, that's a good point because usually, when the humidity starts, those balls start flying at the ballpark. And there's no good stat. And I don't know if you agree with this or not, but I know, obviously, if you're not watching, follow me at Win Daily Sports. We do a live pre-lock show every single day, Major League Baseball. Follow TekMunNNee. He's doing MLB pets and money lines, prop bets, you name it. But talked about the actual first game of a 3 or 2 game series in Colorado. The opposing team usually bats very lackluster, man, like 220, 230. So, I kind of expected that with the Phils, but tonight I'm thinking they're going to go off, man. I'm thinking they're going to go off. So what do you think about tonight's game?
I do. I agree with you. And I want to get this clear. I don't have an area bias or nothing because I'm in the area. I don't wake up saying, let's go bet the Phillies every day. If anything, I don't recall even if I may have bet the Phillies yet. I may have done something earlier in the year, but like you said, so here's the deal today. When they're facing left-handed Kyle Freeland, I think that's a huge advantage because we know we have power from the right side. Yep. And the thing with Kyle Freeland, when I look at these stats, breaking down metrics, he's allowing 332 average of batted balls in play. That's critical. That's a lot. He's just allowing stuff, right? And the home runs per 9 inning is pretty elevated at 1.46. So just for the common person out there, being in Colorado, if he's going to allow a lot of hits happening and he's susceptible to the home run, that's just bad news. And I just think Kyle Freeland so far in the first 2 games this year has already allowed 10 runs. So is he going to turn it around today? I don't know. My buddy Craig, I hope he's listening. He's from the area. He's traveling in Canada, but I know he's tuning in. Craig reminded me that he just signed a big deal today, Kyle Freeland. And sometimes these pitchers, after they've been fighting for a big deal, it's like a big chip off their shoulder, right? And they might not be in it today. I just think the right side of the plate can really do some damage for Kyle against Kyle Freeland. And I want to make this clear as well. he's not really a strikeout pitcher. He's 20% strikeout. And to give you an idea, I'm worried if it's about 26 to 28% or higher. When it's 20%, when it's 20% or below, I'm not too worried about it. And I just think that's where the Phillies' power comes into play today. On the other side, just since we're talking about pitchers, there's a stat here that really can hurt a bet. And you need to listen to this. It's the ground ball percentage on a pitcher. If it's below 38%, this pitcher can allow a lot of junk into the air, let's say, or he's not going to give these ground ball double plays. In this game, you got two high ground ball percentage pitchers. Kyle Gibson's at 51.5%. That's monstrous. Wow. Kyle's at 46. So again, above the 38, but Kyle's on the stronger side. Also, to keep this one short with the pitchers, Kyle's recently thrown 18.8% swinging strike. So he's getting these batters to go for it. That's a good thing with Kyle Gibson. Now, what I like about the Phillies bats today and why I have money on it, why I'm on the Phillies money line, that's probably what people in the crowd are looking at. Well, where's the money at?
Yeah, baby.
Philadelphia Phillies money line, minus 135 at DraftKings. I think that's where I found it cheaper. Look around. If you're in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, you have the ability to be in various books, so always shop around. What I like about this Phillies lineup tonight, as you mentioned, Tony, a little quiet, right? To start it off. Man. We know in baseball, you either do or you have regression. Well, they're due today on that angle, but let's put metrics behind it, just some basic things. Gene Segura is batting 9 at-bats, 4 hits against Freeland, 2 home runs. And notice he was actually going to be batting bottom of the lineup, okay? And I'm going to give you a second bet that I like, and this is more of a lotto bet. You put a little bit of change on it, and you have fun. If it hits, and you buy yourself a beer. He was plus 810 in the morning to hit a home run at FanDuel.
Plus 810.
Plus 810. He's got 4 hits. 2 of them been home runs on Kyle Freeland. And remember one thing for the common bettor. We're in Colorado, very high altitude. So science supports the ball traveling. So it's actually one of the first stadiums that installed a humidor, what they call, to try to suscept that power, bring it down. If you never knew that, now you know that. And you'll notice when you look in these books, the totals at the Colorado games are always inflated 11 or higher, whereas other games may be between 7 or 9. That's just the science behind it. And with that said, I also feel that, wow, Segura is already hitting 2 home runs at 4 at-bats. They moved him to the top of the order. He's leadoff tonight. Right. That prop now dropped to plus 610 just because of it. So the two things that I want to bring to the table here for the viewers out there and the listeners is I'm physically on the Philadelphia Phillies money line today. And I'll be honest, I'm not one to just jump on the Phillies. I just don't do that. I like to really get very deep and analytical, and I'm very strict on what I'm picking. And the Phillies money line fit that today. Again, it's not just Segura. You have Bryce Harper, some familiarity, 14 at-bats, 3 hits. That's not great, but there's 2 RBIs in there, a walk. Nick Castellanos, right side of the plate. You guys know Nick. Remember, he made the comment. He has to feed his family. He's coming out every day to hit the ball. He's got 2 appearances, 1 hit. It's a home run, 2 RBIs and a walk. So I just think there's a couple right side of the plate power here. And another thing I'm going to bring it in here that other folks may not be talking about, and let's bring the heat because we're on the heat ratio.
Yeah, baby. Like I like to play my man.
Plate IQ. And what this will do is it'll tell me what pitches Kyle Freeland throws to the left side and the right side of the plate. And then what batters are good at that. Okay. In this scenario, Kyle's pretty balanced. The one that sticks out is to the left side of the plate. He throws a slider, 32%. So you take a look and you say, well, who's good at hitting the slider on the Phillies? Who's seen him a lot, right? And one that sticks out right away, Rhys Hoskins, 348 WOBA. I don't want to blow your minds out there with some of this analytical stuff, but just trust me when I'm looking at the data. Rhys Hoskins, Bryce Harper, Nick Castellanos, they own the slider. I mean, they just literally own it. And when I mean they own it, one stat that you can relate to, when you hit the ball and if you can register it as a hard hit above 40%, that's amazing stuff. But when a pitcher's giving up above 40%, the same thing. These batters on the slider, Rhys Hoskins, 53%, Nick Castellanos, 53%, Kyle Schwarber, even though he's not too sexy, In fact, he's not that bad hitting the slider. He's 46%. So it just takes a bad pitch from Kyle, a nice eye contact hit from one of these Phillies batters, and the help of Coors Field to get this ball going. So I just think tonight the Phillies are at a better angle set up to take advantage of everything versus the Rockies are versus Kyle Gibson. I'm not counting the Rockies out, but you've seen it. I saw Blackmon hit a home run. I think it was yesterday. But until then, I was kind of wondering where Charlie Blackmon's been. And I've been calling him, Uncle Blackmon with the big beard, and he's just getting old, I'm thinking. So there's bats. If you look at team stats, as in team offense, Colorado on paper does look nice. They beat Phillies in a couple categories, but not by much. So I don't want to bore you with that. I just think looking into this, to sum it up, Kyle Freeland's in a bad spot. Left-handed starting tonight. Signs a big deal. Imagine you getting a huge multi-billion-dollar deal. What are you there to prove today? If you mess up, you're just going to say, well, you're here till 2026. Give it your go next time, right?
Exactly.
We have that going on. The metrics don't really – what really seals the deal is this guy in a dead ball era is giving up about 341 batted balls in play. That's not good. That's not good. That means every 3 batters or more are getting a hit on you. And we mentioned the power the Phillies are supposed to bring today, and people like Gene Segura and, the power that Rhys and Nick Castellanos can bring. I just think they're due today, but we have data to back it up. And that's why I'm really on the Phillies at the money line -135. And then if you're feeling fancy, don't put too much on it because these are rare to hit. Segura to hit a home run. Now it's at +610, but that's still a very good number if you're saying he's batted 4 times and 2 of them have hit home runs. So, and that dropped from 810 to 410. Those are the 2 things I like, and I hope we can make the hecklers happy with that, and then they come back to heckle us more because that's good luck. That means the hecklers are giving us the love. So I
love it, man. Like I listen, I got to give you some applause for that, dude. Because listen, here's the deal. I'm the analytics that you just dropped. You just spit some knowledge out there, and you threw it out there earlier too. So if you're not following this guy, make sure you're following at TekMunNNee on Twitter. You see his handle right there along the screen. Every day, my man's on it, and he, now and talk about this, Tech, because before I even get in, I know you got a spaces thing going on. Let everybody know before we get carried away. I want to make sure everybody knows what you got going on and where they can find you too.
Yeah, so like you said, you can follow me at TekMunNNee on Twitter. If you go to the website as well, just like it's spelled.com, you'll get my picks there. That'll also lead you. You should, when you get to the website on top, there should be a pop-up where you can click on it and download an app. It's a free app. If you have any questions, just reach me on the DM or even in the app if you get in there. And it's free to follow. My logic is that I'm confident that the analytics over the last 10 years, actually, 2012 is when I really started getting into this stuff on the fantasy side, and then learning these analytics from losing a lot on the fantasy side made me realize that, oh my God, this is easier for me to bet. So I started with offshore and the whole 9 coming from there. And I first started betting in fall of 01 in college at LaSalle University. Probably shouldn't tie the school in with it, but that's how it was going on with street bookies out there. So I got the experience, and I'm not being arrogant, but what I'm saying is I'm confident with the results I've had that the analytics speak for themselves. And as I watch the game now, these announcers are trying to get into it. Oh, I've been on Fangraphs and I see that this stat is this, and all these analytics that I bring. I'm a member at Fangraphs. That's where the MLB gets a lot of their back and forth syncing with their stats, and all of this is there. For example, because we're talking about metrics, there's a stat with XFIP, and I'll just keep it basic. It's basically the way I convert it is how lucky the pitcher got from allowing more home runs. And Kyle Freeland's up at 4.28 today. So not only is he, batted ball, at 332. I think I said 340 earlier, at 332. He's been getting a little lucky, man. He's getting lucky at Colorado. And he's one of the better pitchers for the Rockies at home. I think that's just not susceptible. That's not sustainable because of science. That's a high altitude area. There's just no way a pitcher can stay too good for too long. They signed this big deal for him. It might be a really bad move by Colorado to give him this much money here. That's my opinion.
I don't disagree. Listen, Kyle Freeland's not blowing anybody's doors off, right? I mean, let's face it, right? But who else do they have? But I love the Segura play because I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks, and these guys, I know Dan has agreed with me. He's the best pure hitter on that team, in my opinion. So you get a guy that's going up at leadoff, a guy that can put the ball in play. Tech, I do more fantasy work than I do sports betting, and one of the things I do in the DFS market, I consistently preach positive point production. It's like, not OPP, but triple Ps, right? Because I want a guy that's going to give me something. You can't have all power hitters in your line, could give you zeros, and then you're stuck with a lineup like the Phillies at sometimes, right? So you got to get some pure hitters in there, and Gene is that guy. So before I get to a couple of things, everybody listen, make sure real fast, you got the Phillies money line at -135. Okay, that's on DraftKings. The game starts in about 12 minutes. You got Gene scored to hit a home run. It was at +810 that you tweeted out earlier, but now it's down to +610 because they did move him up in the lineup. So, what about
that one's at FanDuel, by the way?
FanDuel. Yeah, that's right. You did tweet that out.
The Gene Segura is at FanDuel.
What about you got any a game that you're looking at for tomorrow, or is it too early? Because I know it's tough, man. Lines that when they come out, they usually maybe midway through the first games they come out. But anything that you may be looking at for tomorrow?
I'll tell you what, I tried to look into it tomorrow. The problem we have is this cold weather. So we and all of us just slow down a little bit. Even if you have been betting baseball, following people, and you haven't done well yet, remember, I mean, the weather is pretty crappy. And when you're playing in the 40s versus 80 or 90 degree weather, that's a 40, 50 degree temperature change. That does impact the travel. The ball travels harder, faster, and longer in hotter weather. So I don't like too much things without digging into analytics tomorrow. But one thing that does stick out, just looking at pitchers' names, is Nick Pivetta has been given trouble at Boston, and Boston has trouble with their bullpen. So maybe there might be something with an angle. I'm not saying to go bet the Blue Jays because I haven't looked into how Jose Barrios' numbers are this year and how he does with Boston. But just with what I said, there may be an angle to bet what's called team total runs over in the first 5 innings, and they're usually set to 2.5. So maybe something to consider right now into tomorrow is Blue Jays to score over 2.5 runs in the first 5 innings. Something I love for Thursday. Write this down. You can take a day off tomorrow.
Everybody listen. You're already talking Thursday.
Yeah. I've been talking about Thursday since Sunday. Is Taylor Hearn is pitching for the Rangers, and this dude is bad.
Yes, he is.
So we attacked him. My followers on the app, we attacked Taylor Hearn last week with the Rockies. We lost. We had the over 2.5 runs in the first 5 innings. We lost, but this guy left, I believe it was about 5 runners in scoring position. We had runners on the corners, bases loaded, men on second and third, and we only got 1 run. One guy was thrown out at home. He got lucky. So we attacked him again with the Angels, and we crushed him with the Angels. We bet that day over 2.5 runs in the first 5, over 3.5 runs in the first 7. Some books offer that. And I believe it was also a over full game, if I'm not mistaken. And the Angels went out and did that very early because Taylor Hearn got lucky last week. He's not going to get lucky every day, but where he was consistent is he gave up a lot of people he's walking, giving up junk. He's giving up hits. And he's supposed to be giving up. Remember, I made that stat of HR per 9, home runs per 9 innings. When you're near or above 2, it's very bad. And when that stat going into the other game, he was around 2.14. I forgot if he gave up home runs against the Angels, but it won't bring it down below 2, even if he didn't. He's near 2. So we attack Taylor Hearn on Thursday. I don't care what team it is. I think it's the Mariners still. It might be the final game of the series.
Even better, man. Even better. You got a good match up there. But I was attacking her last year too in DFS, man. It was like consistently. The dude is just bad. You know what I mean? So you lay it all out there.
Let me ask a fun question. There must be a lot of people in that bar you're in with money, because as I was talking at DraftKings, the Segura at DraftKings was plus 500, and you guys moved it to plus 475.
Wow! Listen to that, 470. That's just. I think it's a table up here with these fine ladies and gentlemen over here. Say, look, you hear them?
There you go.
They already throw it out there, man.
Hey, I'm gonna have to come out there next couple of days and get some food.
Hey, do it.
Yo, we're here. We are here, Tech. You family, man.
Hopefully
you family.
You know how to work a speaker, Tech.
Yeah. Hey, really, Dan? Had to throw that Mr. Gym teacher to tell me how to work a speaker.
That's why I couldn't help.
That's okay. Well, when we get to the soggy sandwiches later, we'll see what happens. Hey, Tech, let me ask you this fun question because we got a vote going at the end of this show. So I want to ask you this so I can get you out of here so you can get your numbers in and everybody get their plays in. But, today is the 28th anniversary of Nas's first album, Illmatic.
Yep.
And I got to ask you, man, are you a Nas or a HOVA guy? Are you a J or are you a Nas guy? Help me out here.
That's I saw your tweet today, and that's when I went into like a 20-year memory lapse, and I've been back and forth. I think right now I'm with Nas right now.
Oh, no.
I've been back and forth. Tomorrow morning might be Jay-Z.
Jay's my goat, man. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I wish I didn't have to answer the question, to be honest. But it's just 28th anniversary, so I can't say the other one today.
So
and Jay went a little too Hollywood. I still might hear a Nas track here.
I will say Nas has the best stage name ever from a movie in Belly in Sincere. Yep. You'll never get a better character name than Sincere. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
I got a man crush on that name. Just throwing it out there.
No. How about the beginning scene in that movie with the neon lights and the contacts that glow? And
that was next level. Yeah, that was before its time, man.
Yep. Williams.
Yes, that was before its time. Yep. Hey, listen, I respect it. I love Nas too. I'm just more of a J guy. Number one, because I think he's going. Number two, I mean, listen, he got Beyonce on his arm. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah,
look, I can't argue. I mean,
play, right? That's a plus.
If you asked me who was going to do freestyle right now, then I would probably have to take Jay.
Yes.
But with the 20th anniversary, with that.
Yeah, you gotta get what. So okay, so let's throw this out there before you go. Nas, what's your favorite jam, man? I know it's tough because there's a lot.
There's a lot. I didn't prepare for that one.
So I'll give you either.
But that Illmatic album is one of my favorites. It's a classic, and I'm very diverse. I used to play the bass guitar. I'm in the heavy metal, death metal. Believe it or not, I've covered Slayer songs.
There you go, Dan.
So I'm not just one of those guys like, it's one of the greatest things I ever heard. I think Illmatic goes up there when it comes to all kinds of genres. You got to throw that one up there 20, 30, 40 years from now. I think that'll still be talked about.
So last question, throw you on the spot here because we asked this last week. But you just say you're well-rounded. I love it because that's how kind of I am as well. Your walk-up music, Tech's a baseball player, playing for the Phillies, man, Citizens Bank Park. First thing you go to the PA, Dan Baker, yo, Dan, throw me this track. This is my walk-up music. Who you got?
One of two. I'll give you the one that everybody might know about. Walk by Pantera.
Okay.
Or a song by Meshuggah. It's a Swedish metal band. I'm drawing the blank name, but I think it might be called New Millennium Cyanide Christ.
Okay. Then we're gonna have to check that out, dude. That's something different, man.
Yeah, Meshuggah's a little crazy. You have to, you gotta. I don't know. You might have to take the seatbelt off so you can run away.
No, you're right. I like that, man. I like that. Yo, Tech, listen, man. I love this. We're gonna do this as much as possible on the show when you can get with us live. 15, 20 minutes, break down some numbers. You just drop knowledge on everybody.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Unbelievable. And again, I know you're local, man. Right here, we're here at live at Steam Pub. Make sure everybody's following at Steam Pub on all sorts of formats. The home of the real-time draft beer list. We're here. A lot of people. Come on by, man. We'll hook you up a mic. Sit up here with us, man. We'll have some fun. All right.
Let's do it. I'd love to be there. And thank you again. It's a privilege. I'm looking forward to working with you guys as soon as possible. And I hear some beautiful people in the background. I hope they're all there when I come by.
They're over there. Listen, they're ready.
This is like butterfly. We'll have some fun.
Yo, yes, we will, brother. I'll tell you that 100%.
Appreciate it.
All right, Tech. I'll talk to you later, man. Thanks for joining in, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Good luck, guys.
All right.
Make sure you follow him at TekMunNNee at TekMunNNee, and make sure you get him on Twitter, man. Listen, my man, he just drops knowledge, man. Like,
that was crazy.
I mean, like, you know how sometimes you sit there and you bring guests on, and you go back and forth, but it was like, I'm a big Poetic Justice guy. I love that movie, but that was poetry in motion to me, man. I just sit back and listen. We even got the fan club out here. They were listening. We even dropped the numbers because of Tech's knowledge. Right, because it's text knowledge. They drop the money. They're already talking about
Tony,
it.
can you imagine in the fall coming up with the speaker working and the football coming with numbers when it comes to the NFL? Oh,
you had to throw the speaker in there, Nick.
Well, I mean,
you had to throw a speaker in there.
I'm trying to paint the picture. I'm trying to paint the picture.
I'm telling you, we're gonna get one of the locals on the mic before the show's over.
I will say this, Tone. Listen, I know this is going to sound teacher corny, but there's a thing called teaching to a kid's intelligence, and like, if you had a kid that loves sports or baseball, and they're struggling in a statistics class,
there you go,
and then you bring this type of material to the classroom, that kid's going to have an interest and learn statistics.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like every kid hated statistics in college, but the way that guy Tech just presented it, I'm telling you,
I'm a stats guy, and I love it.
That was phenomenal.
Even a guy that doesn't understand the sport. I mean, the betting dynamic, all the stuff that you got to put in. He put it so plain to you that it's easy to get.
But you're not going to
trying to tell you.
If he was a teacher, you're not going to lose the classroom with that material.
And here's the last thing I'll say before we start talking some Sixers about it too is, Tech's all over the place, man. Like he can speak to the high roller, he can speak to the beginner better, right? And that's what we're all about. You heard those revenue numbers. There's a lot of rookies out there. I'm included when it comes about. I'm a DFS guy, right? I'm not a huge betting guy. So when I'm starting to hear these numbers and these analytics, it makes me want to buy in, which is a huge thing. So again, make sure you go follow his website. He's giving out the free picks every day. He's dropping stuff every day. One of the coolest guys you'll ever meet. I know. Listen, I got a shout out to my man Mark. X_Drumheller. I know him and Mark are together, and he introduced me to Tech. I know they've seen each other at the Wells Fargo Center, and the first thing he said was, "Yo, man, you got to talk to Tech, man. You got to get him on. He's a great dude." And I thank him for that.
We
man.
got Tech, drums, and Glock. Can you believe it? We got like the trifecta.
Yeah, we do have the trifecta. I'm just trying to figure. I got real loud now. I don't think they're listening now. That's what it is. Look. They're not listening.
No,
to
they
us.
didn't.
They're play. You play.
What is that?
Wow. I thought a real bad joke. I thought a real bad joke was great.
Who's got a bad joke?
That's Meshuggah.
That has to be Dan. Look, yeah, I'm sorry, Dan. But look, let's get into some Sixers talk, guys.
It's aggressive.
It's going to get a little wild in here. And again, make sure you're following us at Heat Ratio Sports on all social formats. Make sure you're following at Steam Pub on all social formats. And again, make sure you're following at Prime Roofing, www.primeroofingpa. We're going to get the sponsored name of the franchise question later. We're going to talk about the Kansas City Royals, the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to talk. Dan, is there Kansas City? Kansas City.
There used to be a Kansas City Scouts.
Kansas City Scouts.
Yeah, they went. They were defunct after the 74, 75 season. They came in with the Islanders.
That's man.
I'll name a player from that team if you'd like.
So Adam checking in says Sixers going to sweep. Maxey is unbelievable. Mikey V checks in says Kings.
Kansas City Kings. Yeah.
Kansas City Kings. Yep. We got the cheat. Yep. We're going to talk about all of them. My man Rick checking in said, "Come on, Bert." Oh, Rick, come on, man. Rick, you disappointed me, brother. You were here for like 5 minutes and split. That's not the Rick I usually know. The Rick I know like hangs out like all day. You have to like carry him out of the place at the end of the day. You left on me. 5 minutes, Rick. You owe me, man. You need to get back here. You owe me, and I'll tell your boy to call me back once in a while. Hey, Taylor, my girl Taylor checking in. My daughter, hate that she watching on remote, usually here. But there's next level right there. She the one that's watching me on remote, watching us, which is great.
Dedication today.
Yeah, you know what I mean, man. So shout out that she graduates this month. So
congrats.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Rick says I'll be back. You better be, Rick. I'm gonna hold you to that. So let's talk Sixers, man. And Al, you're the resident Sixers guy. We go Al, get Nick. I know because I've talked everybody's ear off, and we got some tremendous stuff from Tech. And what's cool is it's 8:40 right now. So Dan, if you can pull up that live Phillies feed, so we can, if Segura hits a home run, man, we got to get that breaking news sound. Right here, man. You know what I mean? So live. And listen, just so everybody knows, once we get this speaker situation set up, and I'll put that on myself, we're going to have these show where we're going to be doing these live bets during the games as they're going on. Got a lot of big things planned, so make sure you're checking us out at Heat Ratio Sports.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Al, it's 2-0, okay? And the only thing I want to ask you is, simple question, man. Are all the concerns gone now? Are you fully confident now? Fully confident that we are good going on? What do you think, man? Because I'm the negative guy
in this series.
Yes, in this series now.
This series.
Are we good?
Of course.
So now going forward, have you seen enough to say Doc changed? Right, Doc changed because he's got Paul Reed out there, got B-ball Paul. You got DeAndre Jordan icing his knees because he's giving too many high fives on the sideline. I don't know what that's about. But are we good?
I want to see how we close this out.
Okay.
Because if we come out tomorrow, which is going to be a hard game, they're going to give us everything they have in that game. Don't be fooled by the game 4. Game 3, they know they have to win or it's over. So they're going to give us everything they got tomorrow. So I want to see how we handle that. I want to see the adjustments that we're going to make when they come out on fire. You think they came out on fire last night when they did what, like 11-3 or something like that? Imagine this 25-4, something like that. And the crowd is going crazy. And you're not hitting any shots. I want to see how we react to that. I want to see how we react to Embiid going to the hoop maybe 3 times and not getting any foul calls and getting a tech in the first 2 minutes, or now let's say the first 5 minutes. I want to see we hit over 50% from 3 in that first game. Yesterday was 46. I want to see when we're not hitting threes, how we react. So a lot of things I need to see how we react to, and then I can answer that question a little bit better. But we're definitely going to win this series. I'm not worried about that. But I want to see, have we built up what we need to build up to move forward? And the big dog is waiting. We're watching them on TV right now. Miami is going to take care of business. And that's who we need to build up for.
I think so, too. Jose, shout out, checking in. What's up, Jose? Thanks for tuning in, my man. I know it's your first time. Make sure you give us a follow at Heat Ratio Sports.
Also, Half Court Heat on Twitter.
Yeah, everywhere. Listen, I'm sorry. I always forget that, man. Like, make sure you follow at Half Court Heat. That's like Al's solo account, man. Like, for real. Like, he is unbelievable, going back and forth. I talk about it all the time. So make sure you follow at Half Court Heat as well. Nick, it's been a minute, man.
It's been a minute. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah,
with you guys.
I'm glad to have you back, man. Yeah. I need that smooth, sultry voice of reason going on here, bro. So, what we got here, man?
Yeah, here's a little voice of reason. What's going to happen when they come back? If they come back to Wells Fargo and the series is tied up 2-2? I'm not saying that's going to happen, Al. I'm not saying that's going to happen. But tomorrow, the next game, tomorrow's game they play tomorrow, right?
Yes.
That game's on Doc Rivers. This game is on Doc Rivers. The way they prepare, the way they're pumped up to play this game, and is this team going to understand? Is it going to translate from the coaching staff? Al, you just talked about the importance of Game 3. That Toronto is going to be beyond fired up. They're going to be going into a hostile crowd, down Thibault, and you're going in there, and it's going to be a battle. I mean, and how prepared are they going to be to play this game? And that is all coming down on Rivers.
Right.
They lose this game, or they're not prepared, or they're because how can you sustain fit? I'm just going to ask you a question. Can you sustain 50% three-point shooting?
That's tough, man.
No, you can't.
That's
sustain.
tough.
I didn't even think.
The answer is no.
When they shot over 50 the first game,
yeah.
I didn't think that they were going to do that, and then they shot 46 last night, and I'm still shocked. Like, that's going to come down. We don't shoot that high.
And we're not complaining because they're winning, but is Harden gonna step up in this game, and is he gonna show the world in Philadelphia what it is that he can do, and why he was brought here to move this team through this playoffs series and contribute. So, and listen, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a unit right now, and they're playing really, really well together. And you've got people stepping up that you did not think were going to step up, like Maxey. I mean, who thought he was going to, score 38 in game one? But, at the end of the day, Tone, they could come back. They could come back 2-2. They could come back 2-2.
Oh,
I mean, I don't think it's going to happen. I really do think they're going to lose. I think they'll win game 3, and I think they'll lose game 4. But, at the end of the day, we're going to see what Doc Rivers can do to get this team prepared in Toronto. A totally different environment than what they've been used to so far leading into the beginning of the playoffs.
It is going to be a different environment. It definitely going to be. And you're right. I love how that you just said this is going to be on Doc Rivers. I think this is 100% the case, right? But we got a score already. Man, Tech is on remote hooking us up. Adam hooked us up 1-0. Phillies already was not cheat scored, no. But Bryce Harper. Okay, once again, we talked about we got Rhys Hoskins, our boy, the stiff. I got off of the triple. He is a stiff. I'm sorry. And then Harper knocks him in. So we already got 1-0. So again, he told you about the ground ball, right? He told you about Kyle Freeland, right? With the bats on the ball, man. It was already there. That money line's looking good already, man. That money line's looking good already. But Dan, Doc Rivers, okay. But here's what I will say. I want to ask you this because Nick brought up the Harden issue, and let me just ask you your feelings on right now. The way we're scoring at will, and I'm not saying Max is going to continue, but with Tobias actually looking like he's found a role, with Embiid just completely dominating, like you've never seen a play since Shaq. They don't even know what to do with this guy. Yeah. 24 foul shots in 2 games already, right?
Bitching and moaning Nick Nurse. Over Twitter and Facebook.
It's
Nick
disgusting.
Nurse. It's so annoying.
I used to, I am taking everything back I ever said about Nick Nurse as being a girl. I'm sorry. My boy Ghost, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I want nothing to do with Nick Nurse. Jeez. Whiny. Just play the damn game, man.
Stop falling around all
he
over.
Should be on 85 Celtics.
Like God, don't he look like break? Don't he look like Drew Carey a little bit too?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
He does look like Drew. But let me ask you something. Do we just continue down the path that we're on and kind of like if it's not broke, don't fix it? James Harden being the master facilitator, getting the rebounds, and then hitting shots when he gets the shots, but actually facilitating more than looking to score. Do we continue down this road, or does James Harden have to be that 25 to 30-point scorer for us to win?
It depends. And if things go as they are, it's almost like this team is masking James Harden's deficiencies. And let's face it. He's not the James Harden we all expected when we made the trade. I wouldn't.
But we knew that when we got him.
But I'm saying I wouldn't not.
Expectations were high, though, man.
He has that on the verge of looking shot kind of look to him. But my concern is, will Tobias keep this up, Al? I think.
I told you it was a fact.
Yeah. If Tobias keeps it up, it's an absolute blessing. Because I honestly, you expect with Tobias 8, 16. If he gives me 20 every game, we're in great shape. Maxey is an absolute star in the making. You don't.
He's a star in the made.
Yeah, true. But I'm saying, if you had any doubt to start out like this in the playoffs on that kind of a stage,
that was ridiculous.
No, he's legit. So again, Tobias and Maxey are basically covering for some of Harden's deficiencies. I mean, listen. When was the last time you saw a guy in his grill without fear of getting blown by? I mean, you never did that to James Harden. You never did that.
Never.
And you got everybody who's defending him in his grill. And honestly, I don't feel comfortable with him getting past these guys with the ball, especially on a press. Listen, he's a phenomenal passer. I'll never take that away from him. But I think he's also an intelligent basketball player. I think he realizes when he doesn't have it, he's not going to force it. So from that perspective, I do like what I see in James Harden. I don't have that bona fide deadly shot anymore from the outside. So if I'm not feeling it, I'm not taking it. So from that perspective, I respect him, and he's finding the open man. And as Al said, give me 18 and 12 dimes every game from Harden, and I'll be a happy guy. So that's the kind of outlook you have to have with James Harden. Right. But if Tobias goes cold, and Maxey has a 12 to 15 point game, You can't rely on Embiid to score 45 points. Harden's got to step up occasionally.
Right.
And there's going to be that playoff game or two where we might be going, where was James Harden when the other guys went cold?
That's a good point.
So for now, I feel comfortable. Listen, when you're up 2-0 against a team, listen, Toronto looks inferior. Scotty Barnes got hurt. The only chance they have is the referees placating to nurses whining.
Which they will in Toronto.
Which they will. And or Doc not figuring out how to sub for Thibault, who's not going to be in Toronto. That's where we might see Paul Reed and unfortunately Jordan in the same game.
Now, Mikey says,
Paul Reed takes the Thibault defensive role here and there.
What did he win? Shooting and making 25 or 38 a game, right? So he's right. I mean,
he had 8 shots last night, but we didn't need him to score.
Right.
We were up by 20 almost for 3 quarters. We were up 20.
But in Toronto, it's going to be a different story.
Right.
Yes.
Well, no one player other than Embiid is going to dominate.
I think it will if it has to. So, like in Dan's point, if the bias is off, then you need to step up and shoot a little bit more. If somebody's in foul trouble, then you need to step up and do more. But if they're still doing what they've been doing the first 2 games, he doesn't need to go crazy. He doesn't need to take more shots.
Right.
Just keep doing what you're doing. Now, I want to make sure I say these stats because this is very important. We've been shooting very well these first 2 games. I don't know if everybody's paying attention to it, but we have. We shot 52% yesterday, 46 from 3-point. The first game we was over 50% from 3-point. We have out-rebounded them twice. We have been horrific on the rebounds all year. We have out-rebounded them twice already. All right. We had 12 blocks. Now, I do have a problem. We had 3 turnovers in the first game. We had 16 yesterday. That cannot happen in Toronto. If we got 16 turnovers, dude, we got a serious problem. When you're up 25, it's okay to be giving the ball away, but not when it's a close game, and I expect a close game. And then we have dominated on fast break points. I think it was 22-10 yesterday. So we can continue to do those things and keep those turnovers down, we'll be fine. If we can't, then that's where it's going to be a hard way to go. And then with the home court advantage, a little foul trouble, a couple of everybody screaming at the TV, how can you not call that foul? And I'm expecting a whole lot of that. I'm expecting tomorrow. I'm screaming at the TV a lot, like, really?
I'm thinking you scream a lot anyway.
Oh, I do. But I know it's going to happen. It's going to happen where it's going to be at least 4 calls tomorrow that they're not going to call a foul, and then B's going to get attacked. He's going to. How come it's guaranteed? How about we tell my man to put a bet for that?
I'm just trying to figure out. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out this cat's sleeping over. He just brought in his sleeping bag and everything. I think he's camping out tonight. I think Steam Paw is going to have a visitor when they open up in the morning. That's what I'm thinking.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah, what's up?
And Al. Now, obviously, Fred VanVleet is coming back from a prolonged absence. Yeah, wow. I mean, but despite the fact that he could just stroke it from outside the way he does, didn't he also at times look disengaged?
I said that in the third quarter. The whole team did.
Oh, he was tired though.
They looked like they were done.
Yeah, so. If they didn't have Anunoby,
yes, that's the only reason they cut it to 11.
So really, it's Anunoby and Siakam's team right now until Fred VanVleet either gets into shape quickly or gets engaged,
and Scotty Barnes gets healthy.
I don't think Scotty Barnes will be back.
And by the way, that
nasty.
They tried to do that punk shit in the fucking first.
Whoa, what's going on here, bro?
I'm just taking your cue.
Yeah, it's a family show.
No, they tried that punk stuff and stop it, dude. They're not built like that. Stop it. And I said that wasn't going to work for 4 quarters. I knew it wasn't, and it wore off real quick. That 11-3 wore off real fast, and then it came back to reality. Fred came out on fire, but you see what happened in the last 3 quarters. So, I mean, it's going to be way bigger than that. I expect a lot to happen tomorrow. But if we can win this game, fellas, if we can win this game, I'm thinking of us on a whole nother level. Because to win this game, you got to have that oomph in you. And I don't know if we're ready to have that in you, but we'll see. We're going to see.
Well, the other key factor to keep Fred Van Vliet. Yeah. the way to keep him, I guess, tired is
It's all good.
Maxey exhausts his defenders. I mean, that's part of basketball too. When you're so explosive offensively, it kills you. It kills your offensive game when you're exerting yourself defensively.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the problem with Freddie V as well.
Yeah.
He's not in game shape, and he was guarding Maxey at times.
Yeah, he's not 100. I don't even know what percentage he. I'm probably say 80, 85. He's definitely not.
That
100.
being said, I don't want to let them give him open looks like they have.
No, they was giving them way too many.
Which is their deficiency at times on defense.
Oh,
way too many.
Ungodly.
Yeah.
Ungodly. That can't happen. My man Ricky checking in saying, and this is a good segue just to give Tyrese Maxey a little love. I know we talked about, but let's talk about him a little more. Says since Harden's arrival, Maxey's game has been elevated. We need to give Harden credit for pushing the young man and telling him to be more aggressive and shoot. Big brother, little brother.
Absolutely.
Great comment, Rick.
Totally
thanks for checking in.
That is true.
I will say one thing now. Like, can we just pump the brakes a little bit and stop saying he's AI? Okay,
no,
like
no.
right
Stop,
now, you know what I mean now,
Yeah,
right?
you
The
can't
guys,
do that.
Nick, Dan, you know,
Yeah.
like
Calm
listen,
down.
I love
Calm
AI as well
down.
as anybody, and I love Tyrese.
Right.
He's a legal Parker.
Yes, but again, I think though, think about it.
1 year at a time.
Right. Well, here's what it is. It's because we've been so damn bad at the guard position for so damn long that now you have this guy just taking over games at
Right.
will, and the first person you think about is AI, right? But
Right.
there's nobody stopping this kid.
Right.
Like nobody.
You know
Right?
what I did think about in that first game? He opens our window longer of this window to win a chip.
Yeah, it's a good point.
He doesn't close it. You know how everybody say when we
Yes.
got Harden, we was in a certain window. He gives that he opens that window wider because of him developing so fast. And imagine the offseason now, he's going to come back even better next year.
And I
Oh
think
my
it
gosh.
was even obvious at the end of last year
Right,
in the playoffs.
right.
Yep.
I mean,
If he was in there over Simmons, and I'm not looking in hindsight because a lot of people called for that last year.
yeah, but you couldn't do that. But I
know
get
you
it. I get it. I get
But
it.
listen,
Yeah.
if you're in the playoffs and your job is to get your team to the next round, you got to consider all options.
Right.
And again, you're right. I mean, that would have been a pull the plug, which
You
eventually
think-
pulled the plug anyway.
Right.
But
You think
yeah.
he would have sat for a kid?
I-
You think it would have blew up on the court?
But my point is,
Never
you
mind that in the
saw that.
offseason.
You saw that already.
Right.
You saw that. You saw glimpses of him, and he had that little something, and it's translating now. I mean,
Yeah.
he is just so confident. It's
This
crazy.
this was a gift and a curse. So it was a gift that we found out that Maxey was this good because he had to play.
Right.
And there was a curse, obviously, that Ben just didn't want to play. So
Yeah.
Ricky says he's everything we expected Fultz would be, right?
That's right. That makes you.
Uh,
it makes it hurt a little less, Al.
Yeah.
And
It
then
does.
you see what
You-
Tatum's
you-
doing, and it just
Oh,
Well, don't,
That makes it hurt a lot.
can you not bring Tatum's name up?
I'm sorry.
But you know, Al and
God.
Tone and Nick. To me, Maxey's game, and hear me out, parallels Darius Garland a little bit.
Yeah, no, I
They-
I like that.
If he has the same ascension that Darius Garland had,
DG, man.
I'll be thrilled. I mean, Garland last year, 17 points a game. This year, I think he went up to 21 and change. His first year, I think he was at 12 and change.
He
That's
took a
exa-
huge step.
That's exactly what Maxey's doing. Maxey last year, I think, was 13 per game. This year, he was 17 and change. And next year, to Nick's point, I can see him being 21 and change per game. It's almost like the same path that Darius Garland's taken. And I love Darius Garland.
Man, we got. I
Yes,
think.
he's very nice.
Yeah, we got. Hold on. That's round 5 going on over there. Just so you know.
You sure 5?
Uh,
I was
You
thinking
think it's
like
double
6 or
digits?
7.
Could be double
Yeah, it
digits.
could be.
Yeah, I think get the Uber outside.
Yeah.
Oh,
please.
yeah, you
Yeah,
better
buddy.
have the
We had,
Uber.
we had Uber right a month ago.
yeah,
Now we got
yeah,
Uber left here.
That's good stuff.
Yo, man, this
good
is
stuff.
yo again.
And they're not going anywhere.
It is hype in here. Let's show our hospitality here. As always, at Steam Pub in beautiful Bucks County, around 2nd Street Pike. At Steam Pub on all social formats, the home of the real-time draft beer list. It's where on social media, you can find out where they tap the next keg of beer so you can get that first one. I don't know, up to you, Dan, a little bit or a lot of head. I don't know what's going on over here. Oh, what's that? What's going on? I don't think. Yeah.
I have a question for you
Yeah,
guys.
what's up?
We won 2 games, right? Are you guys still on your number?
As far as the series number,
Mhm.
I had him in 6. I would probably go 5 now.
I had 6.
It could still be
It
6.
could be.
yeah,
Yeah, it could be.
I'm still saying 6.
you had him in 7, didn't you?
No, I switched it right before the series started. I did have it. I switched it.
All
I
right,
did switch
all
it to 6.
They-
I actually, well, you know what? I didn't do it on Twitter. I did.
Oh, then
switch
it doesn't
up.
count then.
No, I was on the.
I'm
it
just
only
kidding.
counts so you're on Twitter.
Right.
man.
I was
You
on.
know what I mean?
I was on the show. I was on the show and I switched
All
it to 6.
So let's do this. As always, you know, we're an hour in. Fantastic show. Thanking everybody as always for tuning in. We've had more viewership coming in and comments than any show that we've had so far, which is a good thing. We're consistently growing. Make sure you're following us at Heat Ratio Sports everywhere. YouTube, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We have tremendous content going on every single day or every other day, or just pop-up content from the Fourth and Go guys, from Dan's quick takes and Flyer Nights with him and Nick over here. Al, getting ready. Al's got set up. That 2-minute warning is coming.
Draft
I can't
preview
wait.
we just posted.
We got a draft preview with Dan Ring and Dan, double Ds. Everybody likes little double Ds. And then as always, Heat Ratio Live.
Every show.
That was
You
good,
got to
though.
throw it in
Dan,
there, man.
Dan,
right?
every show.
That was
Dan.
good though. That was
Saying
good.
you got to throw it
That
in
was
there.
good.
You know, we hear some love out here in the front row. They're double Ds, yes, absolutely. But let's go on to our Name the Franchise segment before we start talking about. We just heard a what? I think maybe they wanted single D, not double D. But let's talk about Name the Franchise. And as always, this is brought to you by Prime Roofing. Again, you never know when you need a repair. You never know before it's too late. Make sure before it's too late, make sure you give Prime Roofing a call. They rescue your roof the right way the first time. One day, all cleaned up, in, out, get everything you need. And even at a time right now in this pandemic where it's still tough to get material. And then if you're not sure of the process, they walk you through the entire thing. Bernie will be out there every step of the way, or Rick, one of their salesmen will be out there to help you. And again, they're very personable. That's what happens when you have a family business, a small business. So support small business, www.primeroofingpa.com. Today, name that franchise. Now Dan always slaps because sometimes I'm doing the same one over and over again. But we're going to talk about Kansas City tonight. And, because the first thing, before I even get into players, first thing I think about, it resonates with me, is the waterfall in center field, right?
Yeah.
So,
It's a beautiful ballpark.
right. I mean, just the ballpark alone. But Nick, you ain't been here in a while, so I'm going to go to you first.
Oh, good.
And,
because
yeah.
Dan was going to have my guy anyway.
Oh, good. So let's go to you.
You can't tell Dan your pick. He might use it
He's
first.
thinking I'm going to have the same answer.
I know he's going to have the same answer.
Dan's always stealing picks.
Because I would have had to pivot and had a different pick.
Dan is stealing picks all the time. So, Nick, who you got, man?
I don't know how you can't go George Brett when you think about Kansas City.
Pine
Tar, Phillies World Series 1980. The guy was just, oh my God, man. When you watch baseball, all you did was wait and see what George Brett would do, and because he was a character, and it was the big Pine Tar incident when he's running out the home plate.
Oh, that's great.
Kicking and screaming with the, tobacco flying out of his mouth. But you know what? I don't have his numbers in front of me. I didn't look him up, but obviously a Hall of Famer, just a great player. Got to see him, in the Phillies World Series. I kind of had like a little bit of a young guy man crush on him.
I love the man crush.
He was the kind of baseball player I wanted to be when I was a kid, man. And he was, when you talk about the face of the franchise or face of the city, that's what I first think about. And, and that's my old school way of thinking. I mean, now you talk about Kansas City and 9 out of 10 people, first thing you're going to say is Patrick Mahomes. But, regardless of how young he is, I mean, for what he's done in such a short period of time there and captivating that city and taking them to levels that they've never been in a very short amount of time. But I'm going to go with George Brett. I'm going to stick with the Royals and go with George Brett.
I like that. I like it. I mean, I don't know who Dan was going to pick.
Well, I was gonna. You know, I don't just pick one.
No, I know you got a bunch of them.
I'm gonna go with George Brett's teammates. Frank White is second base. Amos Otis, center field.
Amos Otis.
Hal McRae, designated hitter.
All right, I remember Hal.
Okay.
I got that.
Dan Quisenberry, closer.
Wait. Hold on. You guys
Am I taking your guy?
No, you're not.
Guy?
No, you didn't take
I'm
my
sorry.
guy.
I'm
Wait,
sorry.
how do we not mention Bo Jackson?
I haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, but you're naming all these dudes
That's
who like
the 70s, bro.
who are like
I was
Bazooka
just
Joe
going to say
guys.
70s
Yeah.
or 60s.
I don't
Yeah.
want the Bazooka Joe guys. I want to.
All right, so we'll jump to Bo Jackson,
Yes.
Brett Saberhagen, Mark Gubazah, and that team in the 80s.
So again, who's your franchise guy?
Well,
you got to have a franchise guy. You want a whole freaking team.
Well, if I'm, it has to be George Brett.
Okay.
Baseball, and it's got to be Gary Smith when it comes to hockey.
Wait a minute. How about football?
Football.
Hey, hold on. Like, can Al talk? Can somebody else talk here?
I thought you were asking me.
Who is
I'm just
that?
kidding.
I'm sorry.
Who is that guy?
Al,
Yeah.
you got football.
You got football.
You got Kansas City Chiefs. Adam checking in with Tony Gonzalez. Yeah, Gonza. Chris, the Nigerian Nightmare.
Oh my God, he was.
That's
good.
the first name that came to my
Yeah.
mind.
Nigerian
Yeah.
Nightmare. How can you not?
Boy, he was
How can you not?
beast.
Woo, man! I'll tell you what.
Wow.
Yeah, you're not lying there. I mean, that was when running backs were running backs, right? You know,
Talk about scared to tackle somebody. Remember we had a show about scared to tackle people. But
yes,
that dude right there.
I love it.
Yeah,
We
no
got
interest in
everybody
tackling.
checking in. We got Adam says Tony Gonzalez. Mikey V says Derek Thomas. Rick Lorenzen says Derek Thomas. I
Derek
always think he
Thomas.
had the
Rest in peace,
same
Derek
moves
Thomas.
Yeah, he was
and
amazing.
intensity that Reggie White had. I like that. My man Ricky checking in with Derek Thomas. You got Adam checking in with Joe Montana.
Whoa.
Yeah, Joe Montana
Yeah,
for the
bro.
G's, right?
2 years.
Man.
If you're gonna throw Montana, you gotta say Marcus Allen too.
Yeah, you gotta
Right.
say Marcus
The
Allen.
guy's had a cup of coffee.
Yeah, he does.
How about the
No Elvis Gerback love?
what was the little
Dave Craig played.
what
for
was
them.
the little return guy name
For who?
for KC? The little small return guy that
Oh,
used to jump around. Nobody could stop him. That dude was special.
who were you talking about?
Oh man, what is
I'm
his
thinking.
name?
See, I'm a fantasy guy, so first thing I'm thinking about is Jamal Charles.
No, he's talking about a return man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
return
no. I'm saying that's who I'm thinking is Jamal Charles. I'm going in with Jamal Charles because I watching him. I drafted him every year, man. He was a stud.
Well, I also had some. You remember the Priest Holmes years?
Oh, Mike got it. Dante Hall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mikey V, our
But-
boy
but
Mikey
what-
V
hold-
checked in.
what-
Dante Hall.
Let's. What was the nickname?
I don't know.
He had a nickname.
And he also says Barry Ward.
Yeah.
Around with
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
another good one, man. I love these. I love these.
You had Larry Robinson, Priest Holmes, monster
Priest.
monster
Priest.
fantasy years for
Priest.
Kansas City.
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
Uber.
Yeah, Priest was very nice.
Yeah.
Let me see who else.
Well,
Bo Jackson, I agree with you, Tone. I mean, if he wasn't cut short with that hip injury,
oh man, can you imagine?
he would without a doubt be
Without a doubt.
he would be the guy.
You
But
remember?
he didn't really play
I
very
remember
long.
the
there.
All-Star
Hold
game.
on, I got a good one. Yes,
Running
I got
up
a
the
good
wall?
one.
Rick
Yeah,
Russell.
yeah. Damn, bro, I didn't even get it out there,
I'm
man.
a mind reader.
Like, what are you doing?
I'm a mind reader.
God, like Dan Green's psychic connection over here. I didn't even get the word out. He's like, Rick Russell.
Dead center field.
What a stiff he was. How did he start an All-Star game?
He
Rick
had,
Russell.
he had like a one comeback year.
That was the year with the Giants where Kevin Mitchell caught it with the bare hand, right?
Yeah. He was running.
Running towards
past the
left
foul
field,
line,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So, a lot of man, Kansas City, I feel bad, but again, they did win a World Series because they stole our guy Mike Arbuckle, who the Phillies let go because Rube had a big head, and he let Arbuckle go to Kansas City, and he built a championship out there too.
And my teammate from high school was the assistant general manager, JJ Piccolo, who I was dying for the Phillies to hire. You got to hire that kid. He's a local kid, and he's an assistant general
And now
manager
he's at Kansas City.
of a World Series champion. Yep.
Mike
JJ
Gubazal
Piccolo.
was a local guy too.
Yes.
Ken Charter.
Yes, you're right.
Damn good pitcher.
I like that. Man.
Real fast.
Yeah.
Let's name a Kansas City King basketball player, shall we, Al? Do you remember the great Otis Birdsong?
Who?
Oh man,
bro.
Rick, help me out, Rick.
I know my man Lorenzen's second.
You know who-
Rick, if you know,
I don't know why
you
this
help
name-
us out here. I don't know what's
I
going
don't know
on.
why this name came to me, but
Otis Birdsong.
Tisdale.
Wayman Tisdale. He wasn't with Kansas City though.
It was Sacramento, right?
Yeah.
You know what? It was Sacramento.
We're talking about Mitch
Yeah.
Richmond days.
Yeah.
North Carolina State, right?
Yeah.
Wow,
They
look at that.
God bless him.
Look at
He
that,
also passed
man.
away too young.
Yes, he did.
A lot of people passing away too young, man.
Phil
He was
Ford
a part of that. He was
remember
part of
Phil
that.
Ford from North Carolina, the point guard.
Who?
Phil Ford.
No.
That was North
Yeah,
Carolina.
Oh, she's back.
Kansas City
Yeah.
King.
Oh, okay.
I thought she left.
They had a good team. Kansas City Kings for the late '70s for a minute. Phil Ford, Otis Birdsong.
Phil, I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I'm lost. I'm out.
Rick
You
Lorenz,
got
help me out,
I'm
Rick.
out.
You do that a couple of times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, you know, he thought he gets a couple times
It's all
out
right.
there, but you know,
I'll be there when you talk about Nas.
yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
I'll be sleeping.
Yeah, he'll be.
That's
Yeah, exactly. Oh, hold on, let's we're gonna do a little Jigsaw Chronicles here, man, and we gotta talk every week. We talk about something funny, all right? Because I got the name Jigsaw because I'm a little unique, you would say, a little up front personality, but certain things just bother me. And I love it because it's usually Nick too. Nick resonates with me. He knows, he feels me. Like he texted me with the 4-way intersection at one time. Just certain things that bring it to mind. But today is going to be soggy sandwiches, right? I got a question about this, and I am. That is one of my biggest pet peeves ever. I actually, I can't. People are going to kill me for this, but I actually wrote a letter to Wawa. Corporate.
No, you did.
And if Bill Fleming,
No, you
if you're
did.
checking us out, okay, hold on.
Bill's a good
For
man.
one reason, hot dogs. My biggest issue with the hot dogs is the container couldn't breathe. Every time I bought a freaking hot dog, I opened it up and it fell right through the bun because it was soaked with
Okay.
moisture.
First mistake. Buying a hot dog from Wawa.
Oh, so you're on a run, man. You're on
That's
a run.
the first mistake
I
right
can't-
there.
It's not like I'm in New York getting one off the corner, though, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? But so my whole
I have
thing
never. I bought a lot of things from Wawa. Never, ever
Never?
even thought about buying.
that
a
was
hot
my
dog.
go-to,
I'm
man.
with you on that
Yeah,
one.
I
Alex.
could buy a lot of
Wait a
things,
minute.
not a hot dog.
I would
Nah.
hit 2 hot dogs,
I
a
don't do-
Slim Jim,
Nah.
and a fruit punch out of the
I
fountain
would do a
machine.
hoagie there
I'm
or
on-
a shorty, a meatball sandwich.
Well,
Yeah.
Any of those before I would do.
So
a hot dog.
I'm glad you mentioned that because that's where I get again with the meatball
Okay.
because I get Parmesan cheese on my meatball, right?
Okay.
That's good.
Nothing wrong with that.
And I get that we're in the fast food industry and we got to hurry up and because of the line. But can you just gently put the meatball in the roll and not slap it on there? So now I got sauce all over the top of the roll. Then you throw that stupid cellophane on there. You wrap it up. I get it home and I got a wet mess and I don't even want to eat it. Like, am I the only one who thinks like this?
Yes.
Am I really? I don't know, man. What about the hoagies? Like,
My hoagies
tomatoes
pretty
got to
good.
be on the bottom. You know why? Because the people that get
Nah,
there
they wouldn't-
and
they
they're
don't
on the
do that,
top.
though.
Because you're forced to break the tomato in half with the
dude.
knife.
Yeah,
I
they
got
would
you,
never
Tom.
do
No,
that,
because
though.
it gets the edges of the bread wet on top, and I got to rip them off.
I never realized that.
I'm not Joey Chestnut. I'm not a hot dog
I
eating
was gonna
contest.
say.
How long do you wait to eat these sandwiches?
No, right away, man. Till I
Is
get
it
home.
soggy?
I've never had a soggy.
Say,
Me
man,
either.
listen. I finally
Maybe it's just you.
listen. I'm getting some love here.
Not the second you bring it home.
No, not the second you bring it
Say,
home.
Jose's with me.
The top
Right,
of the roll.
Mike-
Never
Mike's
got
with me.
I never got a shorty
I've
of
had
a
Nick, help me out here, Nick.
I never got a shorty of a
Yeah, I've
meatball
had it.
sandwich or a hoagie, and the bread has been soggy. Never.
I've had it for hoagies if I've bought it in the morning and then waited for lunch. Yeah.
My man
think
Rick
of it.
says, start eating at Saltworks. You won't have that problem.
Well,
Yo,
first,
man, I just dropped like
well,
50 pounds,
well,
bro.
well,
Like, come
first
on.
of all, I don't
Lenny's
get
hot
any,
dogs,
I
too, by
don't
the
get
way.
any Wawa hoagies unless I'm desperate. I'm a Primo's man.
Yeah, oh,
So
listen,
that's
I'm a
that's first of
Marinucci's
all.
guy.
There's not a
I'm a
Primo's at every
Marinucci's
corner,
guy.
Al.
yeah,
So.
that's true. But I try, if I have to do a Wawa hoagie, I will.
Finks or Marinucci's is my go-to. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. How about you, Dan?
For my go-to hoagie place.
Yeah, because you can't get a go-to hoagie in suburbs. And if you do, somebody help me out. Suburbs do not make good hoagies. I'm just throwing that out there. It's not even sliced meat.
Well, when I was a kid, where I grew up was Johnny's Pizza. Made a great hoagie.
Was it sliced though? Where they open up the lunch meat and they're just taking, they're not freshly sliced in the lunch. See, that's where you get with Marinucci's. They freshly slice lunch meat for every single hoagie.
That sounds like a good place. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, you gotta check
where
that
they
out.
located?
There's one in the Northeast, right off of Knights Road, and there's one actually in Richmond, down Port Richmond as well.
I have a childhood friend named Rich Marinucci.
And there's actually one on Browse Ave, Browse and St. Vincent. So you can get the Marinucci's hoagie, bring it home, and then go across the boulevard and get the Steve steak. Right. And so you get bang it out both.
Steve's on Conley, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
So you get it all in. But listen, that's my thing, man. I don't like soggy rolls. That's all I'm saying. And I think people have to up their game. And it works internally too, fellas. Because if you get a cheesesteak, too many people, can you wipe the grease off? Because there's nothing like the bottom of the roll being soggy. So when you bite into it, the bottom of the roll is gone too.
Nick, it does collapse.
Right? It does. That's terrible. Look at this. Rick checking it in with the go-to says you can get a Marinucci hoagie at Tanner's in Richborough.
Oh, no way.
That's awesome.
I didn't know that.
That's right near the wonderful
I
place.
don't even know where
Steve
that
Pub.
is.
Really?
It's not far from here.
I know
like
exactly where that is.
So look, we're going to close this out here. And today is the 28th anniversary of Illmatic, one of my favorite albums of all time, one of my favorite MCs of all time, and Nas. And I just want to throw this out there. I know Dan will just go along. Hey, look, they're dancing at Illmatic right now. I like it. Look, see? I love it. I love it. If I ruled the world, right? Everybody remembers. Look, say we need to. Can somebody get an Uber here right now? We need Ubers right now.
Definitely.
Definitely. But what? I don't know. He said Nas is the best. Nas will keep you going.
You sure that's what you said?
I think so. I'm not sure. We got a lot of fans here, man. We got a lot of fans here. Nas, Illmatic. Is it on your top list of albums? And let me ask you this: is it Nas or Jay-Z for you guys?
Stop it. That's not even a question.
Are you on my side?
Of course.
Okay.
That's not even a question. You don't even have to think about that. It's always Jay-Z.
Always.
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 All
It's
around
not-
or just in that conversation?
All around.
I'm a goat, Nick. I'm
is
Jay-Z
a
the goat.
Jay-Z
Goat.
goat. You know what? Longevity wise, he's almost like Tom Brady, really. Like
Yes.
he's done it well for a
Everything.
really long time. Where other goats like kind of have stopped over the years. You know what I mean?
Literally everything he touches is gold.
Yeah.
Everything. Everything. This dude is on another level than anybody that's ever did it.
Well, you know what's good about him is he can cipher, right? He can beatbox, he can spit, he can do whatever you need. Beats, no beats, rhythm, no rhythm. He just free flows. So for me, that I gotta give him the goat. I don't know, Nick. You seem like you're hesitant with it. Who's your goat then? I can put you on the
I'll tell
spot
you
here.
what, Tone. I mean, I feel I consider myself extremely well-rounded when it comes to pop culture, and I've got a library of musical memory that spans from the 60s to current. I love it. I listen to current stuff now. I listen to KG Elephant. I'll listen to Joy Wave. I'll listen to the new alternative rock. But the one era where I kind of slipped a little bit was exactly what you're talking about. I got hard into alternative grunge in the 90s.
I was but that was a big time then.
Yeah.
That was a big time.
But I was coming out of rap in the 80s. So, for me, man, I don't know. I was a big P. Diddy guy. I know he's not in the same conversation, but
here's the thing, man. When you mentioned P. Diddy as a producer and a music maker, beats off the charts.
Yeah.
Right?
Tupac,
off the charts.
I mean, Tupac, if he was still around, could have towed the line with Jay-Z, I think. I mean,
I can get
if he
down
never
with that.
disappeared, he I think Big Papi too, but man, I don't know. I was into NWA at the time, and that was right around when all that gangster rap started.
Gangster rap.
Big Beastie Boys guy.
I never really could get into them.
No,
Really?
oh man.
I mean, License to Ill for
That
me
album-
is maybe one of the greatest albums.
It's top 5 for me.
Not just even rap. Like that's one of the best albums of all time.
Yes, I completely agree.
I go back to Run DMC. I mean, I go back to Sugar Hill Gang. Really, to be honest with you.
Them I know.
Adam says, "What about?" Well, here's a funny thing. So, it's funny because I'm the same way. Like, I you guys know me. I'm just huge R&B and hip hop guy, and the producer hits us up on Sunday morning for Sirius, and he goes, "What beds do you want?" So I'm like, So beds is the intro music for all the commercial breaks, and I'm like, you know what? Do we got some Lost Boys? Because I need some Lost Boys, man.
Yeah.
I mentioned about the walk up music with Renee,
Classic.
and then I hit him with AZ Sugar Hill. And he was like, Sugar Hill. I'm like, yo,
Yeah, he
Play
probably
it.
had no idea what you
play
talking about,
AZ
right?
Sugar Hill.
Yeah.
Okay, that's like, one hit wonder. That's okay.
Right.
The door dies. Yeah, it is what it is. But when we talk about that Beastie Boys and License to Ill, my
That
God,
album is just
it's
incredible.
front to back. It is one of those. I will say that one album, in my opinion, that could go down, and Al, help me out here too, is the first 50 Cent album, Get Rich or Die Trying, is one of those albums from first to last that you never skip a song.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Many Men.
Yes.
Right. Like every single song, that it was just
That's how you know. That's how you know you're a GOAT. When you can go, I would say half of your albums, and half of them you can do that with, and you can do that with that many. You can do it with half, maybe more of Jay-Z songs. That's how you know you're the GOAT. When you're not skipping songs like we had to do back in the day. Now you just press a button.
I'll tell you who else who did that. If you go back a little further,
no skipping songs.
LL Cool J was the man for a really, really long time.
Doesn't get enough credit.
Yeah.
Does not get enough
I
credit,
agree.
man.
Doesn't. For standing the test of time, for dropping album
I'm waiting
after
for them.
album
I'm waiting for
after
him
album.
to get a one of those all-time achievement awards. He has to get an all-time achievement.
Well, he got inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
No, I'm talking about something like on BET or somebody like that giving them and giving them his flowers, as they say these days.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
He did. And
I saw that one.
I will go out on a limb here, and if anybody listen, please check me on this. But I'm going to tell you something. 4-3-2-1, in my opinion, is one of the best verses ever by an MC with LL. So you can say whatever you want about LL. He's just a pop guy with the Hey Lover and Jingle and Baby and all this stuff. But when he had to go straight, I'm not going to talk 14 shots to your dome because that was a little reach for him.
Right.
But 4-3-2-1. My God.
Oh my God.
Like, I mean, like, just go back and play that, man. Like that rhyme, that verse, unheard of. Unheard of.
I agree.
Everybody was banging that in their cars.
Remember? And that was, remember who he was beefing with, right? You remember, right? Cannabis.
Cannabis. Yes.
Second round knockout.
Yes.
Your second round knockout was the
was
one.
So funny.
Remember that?
It was. Everybody was laughing at the kid. Like, you really coming at LL? Like,
no, man.
Who is this kid?
Yep.
He made a name for himself by doing that.
Yeah, he did. He did. And
everybody knew who he was.
Everybody
Until he started going.
And then Adam second in saying now he's NCIS Los Angeles, right? He's a movie star. He's a TV star, dude. Listen, man. I'd step aside. Just go ahead, man. You know what I mean?
He started in the late 80s.
Radio was his first album.
Mid-80s, probably. Yeah.
Radio first album, and full transparency, my first rap album ever was Bigger and Deffer by LL Cool J.
I had a fraternity brother
unbelievable.
that was nicknamed LL.
LL?
Because he loved LL Cool J.
You know what LL stands for, Dan?
Ooh.
You know, I'm serious.
Boy.
I don't.
Yeah,
I do.
Look at Dan. Dan's. He's like,
ladies
love
me up. Ladies love Cool J.
All right.
Ladies love Cool J. Come on, man.
No, he thought you were setting them up.
Yeah, I know. Nah, man.
Al, did you know that answer?
Yeah, but I was waiting to see if you would try.
No.
That's funny, man. That's funny. But look, fellas, let's get out of here, man. We a fire show. Let's go down the line real fast. Some final thoughts. We're an hour 23 in. Fantastic guests. Again, thanks for the hospitality at Steam Pub. Make sure you're following on all social formats. Make sure you're following at Heat Racial Sports, obviously on all social formats. And make sure follow at TekMunNNee on Twitter, who comes on, giving us some straight knowledge when it talks about sports betting. Keep it locked on that Phillies game money line. Still 1-0 Phillies. And also, as always, at Prime Roofing, www.primeroofingpa.com, the home of roof rescue. Al, final thoughts. Anything you got to say? Philly sports, whatever. What do you got?
Everybody relax. We're only 11 games in. Obviously, we need to hit, and we're going to be fine. Everybody's like, fire the man. And, the normal Philly thing. Fire the manager, and everything will be fine. Just relax. We're only 11 games in. And as far as the Sixers, we're going to win this series. I'm still say in 6, but we're going to win the series. That's all we need. That's all that's important, that we're going to win the series.
I like it. Nick, final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I would love to have seen the start of the Philly season with Mickey Moniak in center field.
That was a disappointment.
That was a big disappointment. I'm looking forward to his return and seeing what this lineup looks like with him there, if he can continue what he did with what he's doing in spring training. And it's draft week next week. We got to see what Howie's going to put together and try and make this team better. So we got something to talk about going into the 2022 season.
I like that. Dan, final thoughts?
I'm with Al. We need to relax regarding the Phillies. I'm not a huge Girardi fan by any means, but it's still early in the game. And if you look at the standings, there's so many teams that are 6-4. Nobody's running away per se. And the one thing I will say, we all look so deeply into spending money. Let's get Chris Bryant. Let's get Kyle Schwarber. Don't you wish we made a play for Seiya Suzuki?
Oh man,
the international market.
Yes,
let's try that. Let's try that game every once in a while. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great point.
What a beast that kid is.
He is. He is an
Got a hit in every game
stud.
so far.
Yes,
absolute stud. I like that, man. That definitely. I'm going to say I can't relax. Obviously, I just can't, because I feel like, my final thoughts are, why are we always the town that always has to wait? I feel like we always have the excuses, right? We sign all these guys, and I got to hear, it's early. Well, guess what? Toronto had the same all seasons we did, and it's not early for them. They're hitting the ball, right? So we don't have to worry about that. Why do we always have to wait? James Harden, we have to give him time to blend in. Why? Why do we always have to wait? Right. I'm tired of waiting. We have been waiting for 20 plus years. Tired of it. So as always, I'm just tired of waiting, but we're gonna get out of here. Thanks for everybody tuning in and checking in. Make sure that you're 100% subscribing and following us and hit that notification bell. As always, a lot of great content here. Heat Ratio Sports, you're following at Steam Pub and at Prime Roofing, www.primeroofingpa.com. We'll catch you back next week. And, we're not sure what we're going to do here. I don't know if maybe we flip the days and we do a live draft show, or maybe we do double duty that week. I don't know. Just keep it locked. We're thinking of some things, seeing what's going on. Be nice to be here, first round of the Eagles, seeing what's going on that night for, live draft, see what happens.
The time.
I know. It goes late, man. It goes late, man. We could be picking it like 11:30.
Right.
I know it's past Joey's Gladstone's bedtime over here.
Yes.
That's from Adam.
What is it in that first round? Isn't it like 10 minutes in between everything?
It is.
It's ridiculous.
It's
ridiculous.
It is a long time.
We could be 11:30 and you draft.
Yeah, so we may have to rethink that a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe we still go live here Tuesday, but maybe we go live online if anybody's up and we can keep some people up.
Hold on, maybe Howie moves up in the top 10.
Yeah,
then we can be here.
We got the speaker going next week. Get interactive with people and their picks and all that stuff.
I got to get the speaker working, man. We're gonna get the tech guy. The speaker.
We're gonna have a good crowd here next Tuesday for the draft. I tell you, I'm bringing in a lot of people for next Tuesday.
Oh, I like it, man. We got to get the speaker going, man. We will get the speaker going. I promise, 100%. As all my man Ty checking. Ty, listen, my man grandson doing big things on the baseball field as well. Ty, thanks for checking in as always, brother. I appreciate it. Everybody checking in. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy. We'll catch you right back here next week.